Hello everyone, I'm Yuan. Today I'm going to present our paper Meta-Intents in Conversational Recommender Systems, which cooperate with Team Dunkers, Team Klima, and Professor Ziegler. This presentation consists of 4 parts. First is the introduction of Conversational Recommender System, or CRS, and relevant challenges. Second is about Meta-Intents, that is concept what we developed to improve CRS, especially in user interaction aspect. Third is the study and the results. Last is the limitation and the future work. CRS has been gaining increased attention in research and industry in recent years. Conversational techniques can be distinguished between natural language-based, form-based, and critiquing approaches. Due to the considerable development of natural language processing, NLP techniques, NLP-based CRS have become subject of extensive research. In this paper, we focus on the NLP-based CRS. Now we want to discuss the challenges in the CRS, especially interactive challenges. Although CRS provides high flexibility in order to improve the user experience, it should be able to give the user a personalized conversation style when answering the user question. For example, should the question be with a long sentence or short sentence, neutral or human-like? In the level of system guidance, for example, a question should be usage level or technical level. In the style of system guidance, response should be shortcut through GUI elements or just a sentence. Alongside the GUI widgets should include more options or shorter options. So different users have different preferences. To solve these challenges, we developed meta-intents to describe this kind of higher conceptual level preference. These meta-intents details include 8 factors and relevant question items. Note that these questions are at early stage, neither perfect nor final. They are efficiency orientation, diversity orientation, goal focus, openness for guidance, interest in detail, human-like, comparison orientation, and scope of choice. We choose these 8 dimensions because they present the user's general interaction preference when users involved with a CPA or other form of the CRS. They are compatible with modern user interfaces, but not limited to the specific one. At the high abstract level intents, they may be affected by the user psychological characteristics. These factors may reflect the user interaction preference in CRS, but how do we use them in the CRS? We propose a framework, just like this figure. The left side is a stable psychological characteristic, decision-making style, which measure people in rational dimension and intuitive dimension. We assume they have an influence on the user interaction in CRS. Concretely, it may impact the meta-intents and the user topic preference. In this study, we mainly focus on the decision-making style, meta-intents, and topic preference. Just like this. Our research questions are, does decision-making style significantly influence user meta-intents or topic preference? Our hypothesis is yes, decision-making style significantly influences the meta-intents and the topic preference. Do meta-intents have a mediation effect between decision-making style and topic preference? This is our second research questions. Our hypothesis about it is meta-intents are domain-independent construct that only represent user interaction preference in a CRS and do not have mediation effect between decision-making style and topic preference. To study these research questions, we conduct an online user study. We predefine the smartphone scenario asking user image they're going to buy a new smartphone for daily life and then answering following questions. The question includes 2 parts. The first part is psychological characteristic, include decision-making style questionnaire and our self-developed meta-intents questionnaire. The second part is about user topic preference, which are total 27 topics in smartphone domain. They are both in 5-point Likert scale. A total of 260 participants joined our survey. We applied structural equation modeling, SEM, to analyze the relationship among decision-making style, meta-intents, and topic preference. However, as we can see, there are many similar concepts among 27 topics. For example, the taking photo video, number of man cameras, and man camera resolution. They should involve correlated rating patterns. Therefore, we do not treat all 27 topics as a single independent variable, but apply exploratory factor analyze, EFA, to extract the conjoint latent variable, and then feed into our proposed SEM model. And we get 6 latent variables for our topic preference: camera, reliability, novelty, design, memory storage, and technical. Finally, we applied SEM on participants' decision-making style, meta-intents, and topic preference. As the entire SEM is quite large, in order to analyze it methodically, we split it into 2 parts. Part A shows decision-making style has a significant influence on meta-intents. After removing non-significant effects, 5 of 8 meta-intents factors remain. We found factor rationality having significant influence on 5 meta-intents factor, with the greatest impact on the interest in details and comparison orientation. And the intuitiveness factors, only a single significant effect on efficiency orientation could be identified. And this efficiency orientation was negatively impacted by the rationality factor. This implies that the more rational people are, the less they seem to be care about efficiency. And the user interaction level in CRS, efficiency may be determined by the interaction time as well as the number of clicks and typing text. In personalized CRS design, this factor has a guiding role for the length of the dialogue, amount of information displayed per output, and when to display the recommended products. Part B shows decision-making style has a significant influence on topic preference. After cleaning the non-significant effects, 4 of 6 topic preference factors remain. We notice that the intuitiveness has large coefficients on camera than rationality. This gives us some pointer for CRS design in this specific domain. For example, when eliciting preference or detecting intents, camera is a topic of interest to the user with high intuition. From a more general point of view, rational users are more focused on the low-level technical specifics of a product domain. For the overall model, we found the meta-intents factor do not significantly impact the topic preference, which means our proposed meta-intents seem to be independent of product features and topics, and do not have mediating effects between decision-making style and topic preference. We also want to point out some limitations of this work. Firstly, we are working on single smartphone domain. To prove meta-intents are domain independent, we need multiple domain validation. Secondly, we used only 1 or 2 questionnaire items for each meta-intents. We are now working on developing multi-items questionnaire for the meta-intents. Thirdly, the integration of meta-intents into specific CRS model and the real impact of the meta-intents on user interaction need to be explored in the future work. Thanks for your attention. Any questions are welcome. Thanks.